Welcome beyond the veil. You are listening to Moonlight and Ironwood. If you want to skip the wait and download the full audiobook right now, the link is in the description. Now, take a deep breath. The mist is rising. You're angry, Caleb corrected calmly. And you're scared. I can smell it on you, Aiden. It smells like burning ozone. Aiden slammed the water bottle down. Of course I'm scared. Did you see Kalen? He dropped me without touching me. He treats Journey like an experiment, and I can't do anything about it because if I interfere, they take her away. So don't interfere, Caleb said. Support her. Be the alpha she needs, not the bodyguard she already has. I need to be stronger, Aiden muttered, looking at his hands. If another threat comes, if the council decides to take her anyway, I need to be able to stop them. We're working on it, Caleb said. But brute strength isn't going to beat the council. We need leverage. We need intel. He walked over to his gym bag and pulled out a tablet. Speaking of which, I finished the audit of the prisoner transfer. Aiden looked up. And the math doesn't work, Caleb said, his face grim. Aiden walked over, taking the tablet. He scanned the report Caleb had compiled. It was a list of the rogues captured at the amphitheater, cross-referenced with the surveillance footage from the perimeter cameras. We have 23 rogues in custody, Caleb explained, pointing to the screen. Plus Marcus and Jackie. That's 25 total. Okay, Aiden said. So, look at the thermal scans from the woods before the attack. Caleb swiped to the next image. It showed a heat map of the forest line. There were dozens of heat signatures, way more than 25. There were at least 50 of them, Caleb said quietly. Maybe 60. Marcus brought an army, Aiden, and we only caught half of them. Aiden stared at the screen, the blood draining from his face. Where are the rest? Gone, Caleb said. They retreated the moment Journey screamed. They scattered into the deep woods. But here's the thing. Rogues don't retreat in formation. They run. These guys? He tapped the screen. They moved in squads. They covered their tracks. This wasn't a rout. It was a tactical withdrawal. They're still out there, Aiden whispered. And they're organized. Exactly. And with Marcus and Jackie in the silver cells, who is leading them? Aiden looked at the map. Someone smart. Someone who knew when to cut their losses. We have a ghost army on our border, Caleb said, and they aren't leaving. They're waiting. Waiting for what? For an opportunity, Caleb said. The council transfer is scheduled for 3 days from now. They're moving Marcus and Jackie to the capital for trial. Aiden looked at his beta, understanding dawning in his eyes. They're going to hit the transport. That's what I would do, Caleb agreed. It's the perfect ambush point. The convoy has to pass through the gorge. It's a choke point. Aiden paced the room, his mind racing. If they break Marcus out, he'll come back for Journey. He won't stop until she's dead. And Jackie? Caleb asked. Do you think she's part of this? Jackie is always part of it, Aiden said bitterly. She probably planned the extraction herself as a contingency. He turned to Caleb. We can't let the council transport them. It's a trap. The council won't listen to us, Caleb pointed out. Elder Thorne thinks she knows everything. If we tell her the transport is a target, she'll just add more guards. It won't be enough. Then we don't tell her, Aiden said, a dangerous plan forming in his mind. We handle it ourselves. Handle it how? We bait the trap, Aiden said. We let the rogues think the transport is happening. We let them attack. And then? And then we crush them, Aiden growled. We finish what we started at the amphitheater. We take out the rest of the army. And we make sure Marcus and Jackie never see the light of day again. Caleb looked at him for a long moment, weighing the risks. It was dangerous. It was borderline treasonous to interfere with a council operation. But then, a slow grin spread across Caleb's face. I like it, he said. But we're going to need more firepower. Journey is busy with Kaylin. We can't rely on the scream. We don't need the scream, Aiden said, clenching his fists. We have the Ironwood Pack. We have you. We have Naya. And we have me. He looked at his reflection in the darkened window. He didn't see a boy anymore. He saw an alpha. Call Naya, Aiden commanded. Tell her to meet us in the war room. We have 3 days to plan a massacre. Caleb nodded, tapping his comms. On it. As Aiden walked out of the gym, leaving the sweat and the doubt behind, he felt a cold, hard resolve settle in his chest. Kaylin could train Journey to be a weapon, but Aiden? Aiden was going to be the sword that kept the darkness at bay. Chapter 24. The Gorge of Teeth. The gorge was less of a road and more of a jagged wound in the landscape. Sheer cliffs of slate and granite rose on either side, creating a narrow, claustrophobic corridor where shadows lingered even at high noon. It was the perfect place for an execution. Aiden crouched on the northern ridge, his tactical gear blending seamlessly with the gray stone. The wind bit at his face, but he didn't flinch. His gaze was fixed on the winding road below. Status, he murmured into his comms. Scouts report movement in the southern tree line. Nia's voice crackled in his ear. Heat signatures are lighting up like a Christmas tree. Caleb was right. They're all here. Hold position, Aiden ordered. Wait for the convoy. The plan was a gamble. A massive, terrifying gamble. They had allowed the council to proceed with the transport, but Aiden had secretly reinforced the route with his own warriors, hidden in the terrain. The goal wasn't to stop the ambush. It was to let the ambush happen, entrap the rogues in the gorge, and then drop the hammer. Visual on the convoy, Caleb's voice came through, steady as a rock. Around the bend, the council transport appeared. 3 armored SUVs, flanked by motorcycle outriders, with a massive, reinforced prison truck in the center. The flags on the hood snapped aggressively in the wind. They looked imposing. But Aiden knew that to a desperate army of rogues, they just looked like prey. The convoy entered the narrowest part of the gorge, the kill box. Wait for it, Aiden whispered, his muscles coiling tight. Boom! An explosion rocked the canyon floor. A massive pine tree, rigged with explosives, crashed down from the southern cliff, blocking the road ahead of the lead SUV. Tires screeched, metal crunched, and the convoy ground to a halt. Before the dust could settle, a second explosion sealed the rear. The road was blocked. The council was trapped. Now! A voice screamed from the cliffs below. Dozens of rogues poured over the edge, rappelling down ropes or simply sliding down the scree. They hit the ground running, shifting mid-stride into massive, snarling wolves. They swarmed the vehicles, tearing at the doors, smashing windows. The council guards were good, but they were outnumbered. Gunfire erupted, silver bullets pinging off the canyon walls. They're breaching the transport, Nia yelled. Aiden saw it. 3 large rogues were tearing at the rear doors of the prison truck. They were ignoring the guards, focused entirely on their prize. Marcus. Now! Aiden roared into the comms. He stood up and howled. Ow! It was a sound of pure alpha dominance, echoing off the canyon walls, freezing the blood of everyone below. From the ridges on both sides, the Ironwood warriors emerged. "Drop them!" Aiden commanded. Flares were fired into the gorge, blinding white light flooding the shadows. Ironwood archers, positioned high on the cliffs, rained down silver-tipped arrows. The first wave of rogues fell before they even knew they were being hunted. Then, Aiden jumped. He shifted in midair, his clothes shredding as his massive gray wolf burst forth. He landed on the roof of the prison truck with a metallic clang that shook the vehicle. He didn't pause. He leaped off the roof, landing directly on top of the rogue trying to pry the doors open. Aiden's jaws snapped shut on the rogue's spine. One bite, one kill. The battle was chaos, but it was controlled chaos. Aiden's warriors descended the cliffs like a landslide of fur and teeth. Caleb was in the thick of it, his sandy-colored wolf fighting back-to-back with a group of Gamma enforcers. Nia was sniping from a high perch, calling out enemy positions. Aiden tore through the rogues. He was a whirlwind of violence, moving with a speed and ferocity that he had been holding back for weeks. Every strike was for Journey. Every kill was a promise kept. The rogues, realizing they had walked into a trap, tried to retreat. But there was nowhere to go. The gorge was sealed. "Alpha!" Caleb barked over the mind link. "The lieutenant! He's rallying them!" Aiden looked up. Near the front of the convoy, a massive, scarred rogue, the one who had been leading the charge, was barking orders, trying to organize a defensive circle. Aiden snarled and charged. He wove through the melee, dodging silver bullets and slashing claws. He hit the lieutenant at full speed, tackling him into the side of an SUV. Metal buckled, glass shattered. The lieutenant was strong, but he was fighting for survival. Aiden was fighting for something more.
The shadows are lengthening. That is the end of this chapter. Can't wait to see what happens next. You don't have to. Download the full, uninterrupted story right now at the link below. Otherwise, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next chapter. Sweet nightmares.